Hi, folks. It's Donna Martin here, founder of the Goodlife approach and Unleashing Your Infinite Possibilities podcast. Welcome to episode number 6 today. And before we dive right in, we'll just set the intention as a reminder that this podcast invites you to experience a new way of feeling about yourself, your life, and the world that we all live in. So, in this week's episode, I invite you to get curious about how do we actually manifest our good life? How do we actually create it and make it happen? And where is the role in manifestation in this? And the very first question I want to clarify here or identify is what actually is manifestation? And then we'll explore the idea of how does this actually help you to intentionally design and create your own good life? So let's dive in, folks. What is manifestation? In the simplest, easiest terms that my 11-year-old son can understand, manifestation simply means to make something real in your life, to create something in your reality, to bring it into form, to make it a truth for you, to have it as an experience. That's it. Doesn't mean anything else. It's not airy fairy. It's not woo woo. A lot of science actually backs up the process. We are now finding other ways and experiences that actually back up the power and the idea behind manifestations and why these actual foundations work. So when we really explore, okay, so go back to episode 1, my very first question. What is your idea of the good life? Have you answered that question yet? Have you gone into that and actually gained clarity, gained insight into what is your idea of the good life? Because in today's topic, today's session, we are talking about how you actually manifest that, how you actually go about taking the action, setting the intention, holding the vision, creating your idea, and actually using intentional design and the foundations to manifesting to bring your good life, your idea into form, to make it a truth for you. And it is so beautifully simplistic, yet so powerful. That most people think that because it's understated or simplistic, that it has to be fluff, it has to be faff. It cannot work. Why is that? Because the majority of us are taught that you have to work harder, that you have to have a hard slog, that you have to put yourself to the grind, hitting burnout, really going through the motions. And there was a social media post that keeps popping up in my accounts, and it was highlighting that 66% of Australians have actually gone through a burnout experience, minimum of a burnout experience. 66%. Now, I don't know about the rest of the country, but that's stats. I think it was some education platform or something had actually put that up the other day, and I'm sitting going, wow, just absolutely wow, because I've been through burnout myself. And when you go through the process of actually manifesting, intentionally sitting down and getting clear about what you want, what your actual good life looks like, and then you start taking the action, start building the foundations and making it happen, it's incredible. The experience, who you're showing up to be every day, all of that evolves, it elevates, and your experiences follow suit. But it's not magic, it's not mystical, it's not woo-woo, it's by universal law. When we talk about a universal law, we are all the creators of our world, of our reality, of the energies that we connect. And if you're sitting here and going, well, what's this got to do with it? Go back and listen to the other podcasts. Listen to the podcast. I think it was podcast 2 saying about who do you believe yourself to be. It talks about we're not just this physical bag of bones. We have a soul, we have a body, we have a mind, and we are made of energy. We're a spiritual being in this energy essence. And that's not woo woo. Science backs it up. The quantum field, quantum physics, it backs up that we are all energy in motion, that we are all part of moving particles, and that we are all magnetized in this frequency, in this energy. If you imagine yourself like a honing beacon, we all attract similar energies, similar frequencies. And it's not because one person's more deserving than another, or one person's more worthy than another, or any of that kind of carry on. It's nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is our understanding, and more importantly, our knowing, our internal knowing that this is actually how we work. Just like driving a car, and I spoke about this in one of the other podcasts. You wouldn't drive into a car, definitely not a manualistic one, and just assume that you know how to drive and go up your gears smoothly without burning out the clutch. Or do you know where your wipers are, your indicators, where your fuel dash is, your lights, your headlamps, your hazards, all of that. But as human beings, we're not educated, we're not taught the power that we have within. We're not taught in school how to unleash our infinite possibilities. We're taught a standard system that says, stay in your box, stay in the singing if you're good enough and you propel at the quota of grades of education. And I'm not knocking education here, but I'm just saying to you, from in my experience, when I thought about school, it was like you were in one or two boxes. It was either you were the hands-on person that would be a tradie or be hands-on in nursing, or you'd be somebody really academic, really skilled that would really excel and thrive and end up being teachers and educators and a lot of things. But that was the kind of baskets. So going back there to our idea of the good life and how do you actually manifest? To manifest something means to make something real, and there are foundational steps to follow. You've probably heard, if you're familiar with manifesting or any kind of personal development, that your thoughts lead to your feelings, lead to your actions, lead to your results. But what a lot of people don't talk about is what happens when your beliefs continuously hijack you. What happens when the limitations, that self-sabotage, that undercurrent habitual behavior that's already ingrained in us from multiple experiences throughout our lives, what happens when that shows up and you're sitting there patiently, okay, I'm going to write my goal, I'm going to have a good thought, and I'm going to now attach a feeling to that. But even though I feel rough or shitty today, I'm going to try and fake it. And then you get frustrated and then you lose it. And then it's just like, come on. And then you don't see the results, or you're taking action in a frustrated manner. And everything seems hard. It just freaking seems hard. It seems like you're just buttoned up against a wall. And then you're questioning, going, this is rubbish. This is woo woo. This is a load of just mystical stuff. It works for some, but it just doesn't work for me, or it's just not a truth. Are you hearing me? Are you feeling me? And so this is where I want you to understand that when you understand the power of manifesting, when you understand, go back and listen to the other podcasts, because each one is a layer, it's a stepping stone to take you on a journey of curiosity. I'm inviting you along for this beautiful journey, because our life, every moment of every day, is a journey. And it's about allowing yourself to be curious, to remain neutral, non-judgmental when life shows up, when the world happens, when somebody else has a bad day that impacts you, and you have a bad day that impacts others. It's about looking at the layers of where you are in your understanding and in your awareness, to actually say, okay, so if I go back to the beginning and I think about manifesting, and I've heard all this stuff, and I've maybe thought about my concept of manifesting as woo woo or as never really working. if I'm listening and Donna's taking me on this journey to kind of break things down into easy chunks, if you like, so that you can process what I'm saying in each episode. And then when the next one comes along, when I'm elevating onto another layer of that, you're open to new ideas. Your curiosity is inviting you to expand on your ideas. It's leveling you up each time. And this is why I love doing this. This is the intention, because it's allowing you to be curious, giving yourself permission to be curious. This just allows you to expand your level of thinking. It allows you to expand the infinite possibilities within you. It allows you to evolve in who you are being. Are you being frustrated? Are you being judgmental? Are you being irritated, anxious, worried, fearful? Are you being calm because you understand now a new truth about how you operate? Are you being content? Are you being patient? Are you being resilient? Are you being strong? Are you being clear? Are you being intentional? Are you really peeling away the layers of you to actually say, okay, so I kind of half looked at what my good life actually translates to what it looks like. And now I'm kind of sitting here going, yeah, still really don't know. So my invitation is to invite you to go back to episode 1 and have a listen. Go through your process of what your good life looks like. What does it feel like? How does it translate in your business, your work, whatever professional field you're in? How does it translate in you being a leader and a great follower? How does it and that means not just in your work or in your business, but also with your family, as a parent, as a partner, as somebody, as part of a community. Because again, we are all in this collective collaboration. We're all part of the one powerful unit, powerful energy of creation. You choose to call it whatever you want, but we are all part of one energy source that is a connection of phenomenal energy that allows us to weave and guide our energy, our chosen intentional energy of what our good life, what it looks like, what our imagination chooses to create as the picture of the good life. And that includes, what type of home do you want to live in? What type of car do you want to drive? How do you want your business week or your work week to be? How do you want your family time to be? How do you want to spend your downtime? How do you want to excel yourself, personally develop? What kind of things do you want to do to give back to the community or give back to others? How do you want to be present? How do you want to emotionally imprint onto others? So it's not just about when you're in a 9 to 5. It's about how you want to show up in your world, how you connect. For me, with my kids, I had my 3 boys. My husband was at work, and I took them to my older boys' soccer skills. And he was there with an incredible coach. That's his love, his passion. So I went to somebody that I knew was really good. And there he got to level up in his skills, to evolve in his experience of who he is being in the moment, to set his standards and attitude. My other 2 boys get to play in the park. I got time to be out in the fresh air, loving just being in nature, in the energy. But that's part of my mommy time, family time, circuit time, and part of my downtime, all rolled into one. It's my midweek activity. So it's part of how you want to show up in the world, how you want not just your weekend or not just the holiday every year or not just one day. How do you want your week to look? How do you want your diary to be? How do you want your personal and professional things to interweave, to flow, or to to balance out so that you're in harmony? How do you want your relationships to be? It's about factoring in all aspects of your good life. How do you want to financially be? How do you want to be in your health? How do you want to be in how you feel in your body? It's about the emotions that you attach to you, to how physically you are in your body, the gratitude and appreciation and the love, how you feel internally about the love and the gratitude, the self-worth and the value. It's about tuning into yourself. It's about listening and then deciphering, okay, so what is the conscious behaviors? What's the patterns coming up here for me? What noise is coming in and chatter is coming into my head to say, you want to manifest that, Donna, but who do you think you are? Why do you think that would work for you? That's for other people. That's not for you. Because this is part of manifesting when the limitations show up. It's part of the habitual behavior. One of the sessions, again, we talked about our subconscious. The subconscious part of our mind is that deep-rooted emotional energy that goes the path of least resistance. There's no filter in it. It doesn't know the difference between a truth, a joke, or a lie. It is your emotional feeling, your energy in motion, your attachment to the most dominant feeling. That's what you're addicted to. That's what plays on your story loop, what feeds. And if you're not aware of that, you can go down the rabbit hole of allowing that to take over and allowing that to dominate and dictate the remaining thoughts that you have. It'll dictate whether or not you take action on something. It'll dictate whether or not you recognize and understand what's happening. Because when we set the intention and decide, okay, this is what I'm going to manifest. These are the goals that I'm expressing. This is the good life that I desire to create in the now intentionally. When we put that energy out there, there's a law of polarity and it's the contrast. And if you're not familiar with this, when you start putting out that intention, you will automatically, because of the law of polarity, you will automatically experience something of the opposite. So if you're working on getting 10 grand in a week or 10 grand in a month, for example, you are automatically going to have bills coming in, an unexpected payment coming in, somebody maybe not pay you, because it's a contrast. We can't experience hot without cold. It's the opposite. You can't know what cold is unless you have the experience of hot to actually recognize and see the difference, that they're the polar opposites. But this is actually what happens when you're manifesting. The opposite will show up. But when you're aware of you and you really understand the foundations to manifesting and you understand how you actually operate body, mind, and soul, yay, your perception changes, your lens completely changes, and your narrative flips, your emotions flip, you trigger, because automatically you know from a higher level of thinking and being and doing and experience that you're exactly on the right track. Because the opposite is showing up, you understand through your level of thinking, that's a contrast, so happy days, I'm on the right track. Is this making sense for you? This stuff is so incredible, so powerful, and such a game changer, folks. I cannot, oh my God, talk about it enough. It is just absolutely phenomenal. So when you are thinking about how do I manifest my good life, it's going back to the beginning and deciding, what does your good life actually look at? It is deciding or understanding and saying, right, okay, actually, I'm not just the bag of bones that needs to take loads of any old action, but I need to take intentional action. I need to understand that I'm body, mind, and soul. It's understanding the rhythm of you, and when you set your intentions, what will automatically come as a result of that. And instead of then having a narrative of, oh, this isn't for me, that's come up, that's just a sign, oh yeah, that's just telling me to pull out, that's telling me it's no good. You now know that happy friggin' days. This is happening. I'm on the right track. So get clear about what your good life actually looks at. How to manifest has layers of foundations to actually understand yourself, to understand who you are, how you operate. I've created a course called How to Manifest that is out this week. Why did I create it? I created it specifically because I spent so many years frustrated, irritated, annoyed, anxious, in fear, and then really upset. I was really disillusioned. I thought this stuff is a load of rubbish. It just doesn't work, or it works for some and not me. I really didn't get it because there was a lot of things that weren't being taught. There was things that I didn't understand, like contrast, like polarity. There were things that I didn't understand about any old action taken in comparison to actually manifesting action taken, about getting in that right frequency, that right energy space. Now, I have teamed up with an incredible platform, an incredible community called Your Vita. They're a philanthropic community of like-minded individuals looking to level up. But more than that, it's not just about personal and professional development, folks. This is about making this incredible material accessible to everyone. It is intentionally designed at $40. $40 for a course. Where would you think, like? But the reason behind it is we are here to make a wave effect, folks. I am here as a Good Life approach to create a wave effect. I want everyone in their granny to know how to actually manifest themselves. And more importantly, I want you to create your own experiences of this. Because when you know, you absolutely know. It's no good me telling you or somebody else telling you. You have to actually apply these tools in the simplest of forms so that you get the results. And then you start leveling up your confidence. You start leveling up in your ideas. You start leveling up in your level of knowing and understanding. So then you keep moving up your never ending ladder. You keep being in the moment of your journey. You keep going back to your idea of the good life and learn from there. This is the power, folks. And it is something I am so proud of, because a lot of the proceeds from Your Vita go back to charities, go back to communities. It's philanthropic, it's heart-led, and it is about doing good. And this is my part as a philanthropic entrepreneur. So I'm so proud to be part of this that I just shouted from the rooftops. You can listen to the podcast and continue listening to the other podcasts and do nothing. Answer the questions, ask yourself, go back and listen to all the other podcasts to date. Take a pen and paper and start writing down and doing the work for yourself. If you think that you're worth spending $40 on, $40 US, the price of a lunch or a cup of coffee, if you're worth that and you're ready and willing to have a bit of courage, be a bit vulnerable in the comfort of your own home with my guidance, then come join me and do this process, How to Manifest, because it literally breaks everything down that my 11-year-old can understand it. Because I don't believe in big language, heavy language, in trying to create what we want. Keep it simple. This is the key, folks. How to manifest your good life. Learn the foundations, like driving a car. Decide that you're going to jump out of the passenger seat and that you're going to be the driver of your own car, your own dreams, your own good life creation, because we are all creators in our own right. These are the tools I use day in, day out. These are the tools I use with clients. And they're so simple, yet so powerfully effective. So, as always, folks, remember your greatest asset is your ability to be yourself. So who will you choose to be today? And what good life will you choose to take action on and create? My name's Donna Martin. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.